Hi, welcome back to my next video, my next topic. I'm just getting more excited as I keep going because this is who I am and I'm finally embracing it. And it is someone who wants to speak and communicate and share all the things that are happening inside this swirling mind of mine. And something amazing happened. Something amazing happened last Wednesday or something. And a person came into my life. So it's like we're just kind of crossing paths. So they're working with me temporarily. And so I'm working with them, but it's temporary and they're gonna be going on to the next thing soon. But it's like a piece of who they are came out into this outward expression. And it showed me something that's actually been going on inside of me, inside of my mind for a long, long time, years and years and years. And this is part of like what I mentioned in my last video, where I was so focused on other people and how to do right by them or whatever, how to live my life according to them. Yeah, I was living my life according to everybody else because I decided that was how I needed to go about life. I wasn't being forced into it. That's just what I was doing. Anyway, I don't want to get into more. I don't think it's necessary. But I feel like you can ask why to anything and come to the answer. At least that's what I've done. That's why I get down into all of this, is because I ask myself why, and I go in and I find the answer. And that's part of who I am. That's part of my astrology chart that I talked about in my last video. There's this aspect, it's like Pluto quincunx something. That's a really specific aspect. I can't even remember the other planet, Chiron. That person is obsessed with getting down to the root of an inner issue and really they're really able to reflect inside to like the deepest level possible. And so that is part of who I am. And it's kind of fun because it's like, okay, that's part of who I am. That's what makes me unique. And only certain people have that aspect. And also a part of who I am is being able to share it. So I'm just so excited that I'm really coming into this. So, all right. So this person came into my life. They showed me on the outside, like verbally, and I felt their energy, and it was just intense. And it was this one moment where they were starting to freak out and they weren't able to stop, and nothing I said was going to get them to stop. And so at the time I was like, I have to say something or do something. And so I thought about it after, like, how do I get her to calm down? What do I say to make everything okay? Is there anything I can do? And then it clicked, like, oh, I'm trying to control the situation. That's not the answer for this situation. The answer is to realize this outer reflection was actually a part of what's going on in my mind. And I was like, I'll be freaking out in my mind, like, kind of paranoid, kind of just like needing to know that, have like everyone else's validation, but not in the validation in the sense of, is who I am and what I'm doing, is it bothering anybody else? Am I bothering anyone? That was the huge thing. That's like plagued me for a long time, because I had thought this, and in January is when I realized it. I've been unraveling it since January, okay? And it is now November, and sometimes it takes a long time to unwind a lot of things that have been built up. So in January I discovered, I thought that, like, I would say something's wrong with me because this other person hurt me, therefore something's wrong. I did something wrong, me, I'm the wrong one, but it's the other person who's hurt me. So when I finally was like, I'm going to share responsibility here, I'm going to say I feel hurt, and I'm not going to feel apologetic toward the other person for being hurt, all of that kind of really like flipped everything around to like the right side up. And so in that sense, I still kind of outwardly, energetically in my mind, sensing like, so I can like I started noticing that I can sense with my energy, and it goes out and it asks the question to anyone around, are you looking at me in a negative way? Are you judging me? Constantly checking in with everyone and everything around me, and well, not everything, but every person. And to the point where I was like, I feel so uncomfortable being around people because of this habit, an energetic habit, a thought habit, very subconscious. Okay, most people don't know that they're doing this kind of thing, but I figured it out because that's who I am, and it's a thing. That's what paranoia is. There's so many things that people say, like the word paranoid. What does that really mean? So that was me checking in with everyone to see if they're judging me. And it gets very stressful. That's what social anxiety probably is. I feel like people say the word social anxiety. It's like, do you really know what you're talking about? Because there's something going on in there that's creating it, okay? It's creating tension because, let me take a breath. It's like, I'm just so excited. Because the tension's being created in your body because you're constantly checking, is anyone judging me? Whatever you're concerned about, right? It could be something else besides that, but that's like a typical, like, is someone judging me or not? That's an example of a question you would ask subconsciously. And when you do, you energetically are checking with that other person, and you're using up your energy. Okay, that's one thing. And two, you're causing tension to the muscles. You're tightening up because you're so worried, right, and concerned. And this does not need to be going on at all. And so I have wanted to unwind it. I have wanted to stop. I have wanted to find peace. And so what I've done is just cultivate the feeling of peace, because I couldn't find a way to solve it except to bring all my energy in as much as I could, consciously aware of it, to bring it in. And I'll do a visualization. Sometimes that helps me to do a visualization. But you could even just call your energy, like, energy, come back to my body and be inside my being, because that's where you're supposed to be. Anyway, but cultivating the feeling of peace, the state of being in peace, there's all these plant like helpers out there to assist with peace, like lavender tea. I mean, everybody knows what lavender is, right? That's just one of them. There are so many plants that help calm your nervous system. Chamomile and lavender. Those are two simple ones. There's so many other ones. There's lemon balm. There's valerian. There's skullcap. Look those up if you need some help for your body too. Because it's like, that's going on. Your body needs support. Okay, so when we support our bodies with what we need, it kind of brings in a foundation for the solution to come through. And so this person that came into my life, they showed me this outer reflection. They were freaking out, but like verbally, and I could feel it. And I was trying to come up with a solution, but then later I realized, okay, this was an example to show me how I felt when that person was being that way. because that's how I've been being, but secretly, like I don't tell anyone. But she was like telling it to me. And she was like, I felt the energy and it was just like intense, and it super got my attention. Okay. So this was like, now I could look at kind of like an example of what I was doing. I could be on the outside looking at that example. And how did I respond to it? The truth is that it's like, she's not bothering me at all. There's nothing wrong. It didn't even cross my mind that there is any problem. Everything is totally fine. Nothing mattered that, and so it's like, okay, now I can tell myself this, and I can say, oh, I'm not bothering anybody at all, ever. Well, I may be bothering someone, but it doesn't matter really. Like even if she may have bothered me for some minor detail, like it really didn't matter. Like, it's just like, it doesn't even matter. It doesn't matter to the extent that I always decided it did. And it's so interesting how, like, I've had moments where I could be in that feeling where I knew like, oh, nobody cares, nothing matters, I can do whatever I want and it's fine. But I was really relaxed that day, and it was easier. So it helps me to find ways to relax my body, to relax my nervous system. And then I have the support to choose and say, hey, I can look back at that moment. I can remember how I felt when that person was being a way that I may feel later on. And I can say, doesn't matter. I'm not bothering anybody. It's fine. And the next day and the day after, like, it's like somehow that just super got my attention, I think. And so I am now like fully sitting in myself and being like confident. Like, I really feel so confident in who I am. I haven't really been able to sustain it for very long. And now every day I practice it as much as possible because it just feels right. It feels right to be me. It feels right to be me. And that's something that everyone should be able to feel. I hope that everyone, gets to have that feeling if they want to. Because I hadn't felt it in forever. I had been feeling like it wasn't feeling right to be me, but it is right to be me. So kind of in conclusion, I just want to say how, like, when someone comes across your path and they kind of are showing you one part of you and it's in your face and you're like, oh my God. And if you can be aware enough to be like, that is something I do. Now you can look at how you're reacting to them. And I don't know, if in my case, it helped me see how much nothing was bothering me at all. It really wasn't. The only thing that stressed me out was when that person was concerned that they were bothering me. Then I'm stressing out. But like, that was just the perfect thing for me to finally get it and click it into place. And I just, I'm continuously practicing what confidence feels like. So confidence is just sitting in yourself, knowing who you are is the right person to be, and that no one's bothered by it, and you just do what you do. People who already have that down, it's like, man, you're blessed. I'm sure there's something else you're working on, but that's been something I've been working on for years and years, forever. I don't know, for a long time. So, just remember that just because someone is reflecting something about you doesn't mean there's something wrong with you. It's just a moment to reflect on how you're going to live your life, and if you're going to live it differently, if you feel like you can live it differently. Or if you feel like maybe I'm going to embrace that part of me more, seeing this some other aspect of my personality, like seeing that in someone else and being like, that's awesome. Maybe that's a way to accept yourself. There's all kinds of reasons. Anyway, that's it for now. There was some other topic I was going to make a video about. If I can remember it, I will see you back here. Thank you so much for watching, and yeah, see you soon.